Hey guys, so today we're going to be continuing working on our little dash that we built right here. Um, so the intention is I'm going to start working through figuring out what all wires I can delete from here, what all wires I can just kind of wrap up, what wires I can tuck in, just to kind of clean up the area right here. I'm not the largest fan of this cluster of 20 or 30 wires right here, so I'd like to see if I can clean that up a little bit. Whether that's reducing the amount of wires here or just running them into cleaner spots, we'll figure it out. But so before I took the original dash out of this car, I'd actually sat here and I labeled all of these with tape, what they actually go to and what they do. So a lot of these things like the temperature sensor, which I've removed, and I've now done everything with either my Holley or my original temperature sensor gauge. Well, not original, but the gauge that I have right here for my water temperature. So I don't need that wire in there, so I'm probably just going to wrap it up and probably tuck it all back over here in this little corner. I think that's probably the safest bet I have, at least the cleanest. So that way I can get rid of the wires and not have to worry about too much like arcing or sparking. We're going to ignore these wires for right now. That's some horn stuff that I got to wrap back up. So yeah, so I got the temperature sensor wire right here, which I'm not going to need, so I'm just going to wrap this up. I'm sure there's better, cleaner options, but I always want to make sure that I have this stuff here in case I need it. I'm not too concerned with this arcing or doing anything weird like that. So that's good. This is the alternator charging light. Definitely don't need this. So I don't think, there's almost no way that this is going to contact something, but I'm still going to wrap this tip up a little bit, just so that nothing falls up in here and somehow tries to spark, melt some wires, cause a little fire. Next to these two can be put away. I think this one is just a generic light, so we're gonna leave that. No, that light bulb's not gonna come out, but that's fine. So I believe this light is specifically for when you turn the lights on, so you can actually see your gauges. All of my gauges are they have backlights on them, so I don't have to worry about using that. What I could actually do is, if I plug the battery back in, I can play with turning the lights on and actually use one of these wires to trigger all of the lights in all my gauges. So I'm gonna keep this one off to the side for now. That one might come back. These look like just standard lights that don't have that big of a purpose. I didn't label them, so clearly they're not. That's wonderful. Clearly they're probably not all that important. So let's just wrap these up real quick. So you'll see that these only have one wire going to them. That actually means that this is grounded by the dash. So if I was to try and use this light, I'd have to figure out how to ground this somewhere. So I'm sure this isn't the most ideal or optimal solution for this, but for right now, it's all I can think of. If y'all have any ideas that you want to give me for better ways to manage these wires instead of just, I don't want to just cut them, cut the wires back and tuck them in. So if you have an idea that's different than that, please go ahead and let me know. If I think it's a good idea, maybe I'll just change up how I'm doing all this. I'm always open to suggestions or creative criticism, because that's how you get better at doing things. If you just work in a bubble, you'll never know any better. So, grab some more of it up. Talk. Alright, so these two sets of wires right here did go to this little, I want to call it a resistor or a transistor, I'm honestly not sure. Everything that I found inside of them wasn't useful. Like this is the temp sensor, probably over temp. This one I have no clue what it goes to, but there's this little red wire sticking out over here. This actually goes to a wire that activates everything down in this big old cluster. So while I'm going to wrap these all up, I didn't originally do this for the record. The car came like this. So So I'm gonna wrap all these up, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them. Like I'm not sure if I'm gonna redo this wire or if I'm gonna just keep using it. But we'll see what happens. Sorry. So this is labeled as fuel level, and I'm having issues with these. So I'm not sure, black and green, this is probably a ground that I have to use. So I wonder if I replace the ground right here with this wire, if it would actually work properly. We'll leave that one out for now. So as you can see, I'm also trying to unravel these wires so they're not underneath a whole bunch of stuff, so when I bring them all over to whatever spot I put them in, they stay nice and clean and tidy. I have no clue what this is. We're just gonna leave that there. So that little cable right here is my Holly Sniper computer. So I'm just making sure I don't tuck anything underneath that. So let's leave here. Okay, so that cleaned that up a little bit. Put these two little lights down here as well. So this is the high beam light, and this is the turn signal right here. So what I'm actually going to do with these is, this is going to be ground. I'm going to drill a hole on either side of the speedometer right here and tuck them in. So that I can actually tell if my high beam little guy down here is clicked when the lights are on or not, or if my actual turn signal's on, because this turn signal indicator is a little bit floppy. So I just want to make sure that I can actually see when my turn signal's on. Nobody likes the guy that just sits there with his turn signal on for 4 or 5 miles, and people think they're clueless. So I want to make sure I have those lights. So that's good. We'll figure out where we're going to tie our lights into later, and the fuel switch, fuel level stuff. So I'm actually going to pop this out, pop it over these real quick. Okay, so this is where the fun part comes in. I have all of these wires right here, and they're just all over the place. So I'm going to unravel everything as best as I can, making sure nothing's all tangled up. Okay, so that should be good. I don't know if you guys noticed, but you see this little melted wiring right here? I think the actual very first video on my channel is the video of this. That is where the engine, or the power steering fluid in my 81 F100 shot straight onto my header and started a fire in the engine bay. This is one of the casualties of it, but thankfully all of these wires work perfectly fine, even though they're a little charred, which is awesome because I was not looking forward to having to fix that. All right, so these are all grounds right here. Let's see what this one's doing. This big old wire. Okay, so this big black wire goes to my tachometer. So it should be all these wires right here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to start unplugging these one wire at a time so I know where they can go. So I think this wire might be a little bit excessive for what I need right now. Yeah, that's a speedometer. Oh, it's speedometer. Why does it need green? I'm gonna trace that wire up real quick. Right, definitely speedometer, not tachometer wiring. So it is definitely safe for me to shorten this a little bit. Obviously, it does not need to be that long, not with wires that are this long. So. I wonder. So I'm thinking, I don't really need the glove box in this car. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a speaker in there. I want to install a fuse block on this car anyways, so I wonder if this would be a good start for that. So install a fuse block over here, run all the wires out, start setting up right here. So I kind of need to decide that before I do anything with all of this. Alright, so for now, I'm not going to cut this wire, but I am going to make it not so long in this one little area. So that's just a standard positive negative. I'm going to leave those off to the side so I can actually rewire all my positive and negatives. Get them all coming into one little spot. Okay, so this is for the tachometer right here. Yeah, tachometer. Is that right? So this yellow wire is an always active wire on a relay that I have right here. So this can just be. We'll actually wrap this and tuck it back. Alright, so this blue wire is switched power, which one of them was this right here. Alright. Alright, so this has to be a sensor wire. Fuel pressure. Okay. Let's figure out what this block cable goes to. this wire actually goes to the oil pressure sensor on the side of the block. Fire melted some wires, replacing wire right here. Okay. So So I think oranges are supposed to be light trigger wires. So let me make sure all oranges go to the same spot. This one's not. Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm going to gain a whole bunch of, well, anything with these. Kind of unfortunate. So, positive. So it looks like I'm not going to gain a whole bunch of anything in my dash here. are you guys so short? Oh. Oh, come on. There you go. So just while normal drive, I know the wires are still a mess back there. I still have to add my turn signal, high beam, and figure out my my light situation. But from right here, driving, I can see my tachometer, I can see my speedometer way better. Fuel or oil pressure, fuel pressure, and then my other little gauges right here. So I can see all of the important ones. I can see my little Holly gauge when I want to. So this is perfect. I'm gonna probably just drill these two little light holes right here off camera. But yeah, this is my little dash, guys. I hope you enjoy my little dash video. Again, I know my wires are still a mess, but yeah, you know, for right now, it's the best I can do. It's the best I want to do. And whenever I go and make this actually out of metal, I'll make sure I come back and do it right. Clean up all my grounds, because there's like 3 different ground wires I have coming through here. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys next time.